not how far we have to go, it's how deep we need to go with AI. When it comes to AI, you don't need to stand on the shore and get beat up. Computers can now do the work that humans were doing and create things beyond our imagination. Good morning and welcome to an operating system built for you. I'm so excited about sharing this message with you today. I have to admit, I have some butterflies this morning, but I feel called to share what I'm going to share with you today. And I value your time. I want to give you extreme value today. And I'm going to tell you what's in it for you today. But first, I just want to say good morning to everybody that's been showing up for all these events. I see you coming over and over, and I feel like even though maybe some of us haven't met in person, and some of you I do know, we're developing a little bit of a relationship. And then I see some really great friends on the call, people that I've been in the trenches with, and that means a lot too. So do me a favor, make me feel the love this morning. I'm doing it solo. Usually I'm using my God-given talents to shine my star on others. The panelists and the audience, and today is about you for sure. But yeah, send me some love here. Tell me what's going on, how the crops are coming up, what you're working on, what happened with the dog or the cat this morning. Feel free to roast me. I can take it. I would love that, actually. Share something funny with me, about me, with the audience. And today I'm going to share some incredible stuff with you because people have continually said, Dan, we got to sit down. You got to show me what you're working on. And over I've heard this, and it just became something that, hey, this is pointing to a signal in the universe, so I've got to do this. So what are you going to get out of today? Well, by the time you walk out of here, you're going to have a pretty good context of maybe what are the first 3 agents you should build to do your work for you. And this doesn't have to be some far off thing. Yeah, I'll do that eventually. It can be done today. So Chris Sobchak said, good morning, Dan. Come on, folks, put it in the chat. Let's have a little bit of interaction here. Catherine says, morning. It's been raining for 3 days, much needed in southern Alberta. Love it when I see the weather warnings going on, and maybe Drew Lerner's been right about everything, the super El Nino and all that stuff. So I really appreciate it. I got a lot of fun stuff for you guys today. What are you going to take away from today? I want to tell you that you are not late. You're actually early to this AI thing, and I have the proof for that. And I'm excited to show you how some of the other waves of technology were initially resisted, but we've come to depend on them in our lives, and we would never give them up anymore. There's many of them. Benjamin saying, good morning, Dan. It's hot and stormy in South Dakota. My American friend showing up. God bless you. Thanks for coming. I want you to start with yourself and not necessarily the AI. Know thyself in all things. This has been a bit of an epiphany for me that I've had recently. And how AI performs once it knows you and knows your business is visceral relative to how you may be using AI in the past. And I want to ask everybody about where they're at in the room. But thirdly, and this is where we can do a little dance and click our heels and become superheroes in our own lives. 2026, I swear, I'm convinced, unless you're in the trades, and I mean, that might be a good life choice these days. If you're in front of a computer, you need to be orchestrating and not operating. It's a little bit of a thrill when you get these agents going, but computers can now do the work that humans were doing and create things beyond our imagination. For a company of one or an employee that wants to better themselves, or somebody who's managing people, the things that can be built, I'll show you. I'll show you what can be built. And I have a fun little thing for you guys too. Think about this. I built a GPT of many famous people that I respect and admire. But one of them is Robert Andjelic. And I would love to know, what would you like to ask the GPT of Robert Andjelic? I know Robert talks to himself, certain times of the year. I gave him the GPT to use himself. And what can we ask Robert? I have an idea. Catherine saying, I started my own business this spring and trying to learn all the benefits and perks of AI and how it can benefit my growers and my business and lower stress levels in all of us. Well, I love that. And that's where I think this FOMO is coming in. Everybody's telling us we're late and, if we don't get in 30 days or 3 years, it's going to be over. I think it's bullshit. I think we've got lots of time. And I actually think time is on our side here. And I'll show you why. So my story is that the hammer came down to me on me when I was in Thailand late last year. And I guess I kind of knew it was coming, but I got notice as well as everybody else and their dog at the same time that really the one source of revenue for our company wasn't going to be continuing on. And that essentially meant the disillusion of a company that I'd put 10 years of my heart and soul into. And that's pretty difficult because I think we know in agriculture how tied we get to the land and to our work, and doing a good job is central to our thesis on who we are, and it was my self-value. But having that happen was one of the best things ever because it really catapulted me into my next career, and the feedback I've been getting from what I've built since has been amazing. And I want that for all of you. So sometimes you need that thing to happen. And I would say that being out in Thailand, you're in this other world and had lots of time to think. And it was funny because I was a Saskatchewan farm boy going along the surf, thinking I was looking cool. And here I was getting buffeted by the waves at the break of the waves, right? And it was kind of awkward because I was getting knocked down. But I found a sweet spot in the waves just out a little bit where I could bob up and down like an apple. It was effortless. And I realized there's a sweet spot that we need to get into. And I'm going to give you more facts and science about that later on. I'm going to come back to this concept of the wave. But you should know that when it comes to AI, you don't need to stand on the shore and get beat up. In the new year, I had a day where I realized I have zero revenue. So I don't know if any of you have experienced this, or maybe if you're in farming, you're realizing you're less than negative. If you've watched Dallas LeDuc's very public TikTok, he's $1 million backwards in the last couple of years after building up 17 years of reserves. I mean, this happens in life, no matter who you are. And so it was funny. I'd booked this leadership meeting, and the day that I woke up with zero revenue, I realized I also had this leadership meeting. And when I had to introduce myself, well, I broke down in tears in front of all these guys from the oil field. And there's all these hardened guys that one guy was actually in his coveralls, in his dually, taking the Zoom on this leadership call. And, I said, I'm broken, I'm broke, I let everybody down, I don't have a company anymore, and this and that. And that's where I was at. I think everybody's had those moments. But it was really a big opportunity for me. And one of the things that they taught me was to create this vision board. And wherever you are on the spectrum when it comes to woo-woo stuff, but I believe the mind is incredibly powerful. So I put all this stuff on here about me riding around in a scooter in Thailand and me getting this girl in my dreams out for coffee. And it's kind of funny because I sent her this last night, and my comment was, well, it's only creepy if you put the girl of your dreams on your vision board and she doesn't go out with you. So I'm not creepy because I did get her to go out with me eventually. And I think it's, part of the power of visualization. And here's me talking at a conference. And right now we're working on Convergence Conference 2027. I can't tell you how excited I am about what we're building for all of you to come and join with us on that. And here's me leading an international team. And before I ever met any of them, God bless them, and they've been a savior to me, I've got 3 people working in church nights over in the Philippines that have been helping me and praying for me and doing an incredible job. And we are double, tripling, quadrupling their output with the agents they're building. And it's been a godsend. It's been awesome. So that came true. And, well, you dream about having the #1 ag podcast. And I'm not Joe Rogan yet, but it has been going very well. And why I had a picture of me with a Cybertruck here, I don't know. I think I've given up that vision, but it was a moonshot and one of those things. And maybe there will be a Growing the Future wrap on a Cybertruck one day, who knows? But I wanted to work on my faith. I wanted to work on my health. Here's me riding an e-bike, my parents' e-bike in Arizona, to be fair. But I dreamed of a better life and building a company, rebuilding a company that I could do from anywhere in the world and be free and really give back. And one of the great exercises that we did too was focusing on our core values. And this is part of the infrastructure, part of the DNA that I'm talking to folks today about you should have, because it's the digital footprint. It's the blueprint of what we want to build around us in this endeavor to have the most leverage and to keep ourselves on track. And I couldn't figure out what, when they put 60 core values up on the billboard, well, it's hard to pick one, right? But I use the same tools I'm going to show you today to pick out what are my top 3. And it came back integrity, wisdom, and growth, or integrity, growth, and wisdom. And of course, integrity is something that, in agriculture, your word is your bond. And that was something that our dad taught us. And it was definitely a do or die. And if you're in sales, I know there's some sales folks on here, your reputation's your capital. And you got to protect that with your life. And that's something to be guarded and reflected upon. Did I act with integrity today? And then growth, well, that's in the very name of the company, growing the future. And I realized that for me, growth was life or death. If I wasn't growing, I felt that maybe I'd be stagnating into nothingness. I would extrapolate out some dark outcomes if I wasn't growing. And I think for all of us, we need to keep growing with excitement, with the things that we're doing. And then I realized everything that I'm putting together on this platform isn't just about knowledge. In the end, it's about getting some wisdom out of it. And I realized, like, hey, I can put all together these nuts and bolts, but I really want to get to this place where I felt like I've gotten wiser. And to your point too, Catherine, lowering the stress levels and being present and killing it, but having that space in your life to enjoy it. How are we doing out there so far? I'm going to put out a poll to you guys because I want you guys to be involved here. And where are you at with AI today? Have you never used them? Tried ChatGPT, it hasn't stuck. You use them regularly, but you don't want to go deeper, and you're already building systems. So I'll let you guys fill that out. Thanks for the interaction. There's 50 people on the call here. Loving it. And yeah, does anybody have anything to share about the first part of my story? Hopefully you can relate, and hopefully me sharing that had some value. Well, I fed my DNA into AI, and I've done this many ways over many different tools, but I've kind of refined that down to something that I can scale with everybody. And I'm going to show you the report that was created by the agent that I created yesterday to do this for everybody and their dog, because I think this is the funnest place to start. So half of you are saying, use them regularly, but I want to go deeper. Tried ChatGPT, hasn't stuck, is about a third of you. 10% haven't used them. That's wild. Hey, Dan. Keith Vander, hi. What are you thinking, Keith? How are we doing so far? Just want to say that I really been enjoying your episodes and appreciate what you're doing here. Thank you, Keith. Means a lot. Thanks for coming. 6% of you are already building systems and you're here to sharpen. Hallelujah. Put your hand up if you're one of those folks. Let's build something beautiful together. So I'm a bit of a junkie. I know people can be turned off by doing too much self-evaluation at some point, but I'm a bit of a junkie. I would show you my folder, but it's embarrassing. I have every personality test under the sun and my 23andMe and all that. I'm sure the machine knows exactly all my ancestry. Wayne Black is saying, I tried AI, but the responses were not agronomically correct. I love it. Let's talk about that. Maybe I answered the question incorrectly, question mark? No. I want to show you how we can build context into what we're doing and be way less frustrated with AI, because I don't know if you've ever yelled and swore at AI. I often have, but maybe less so some days. My expectations are high. But Laura Shoemaker is saying, been there, started and restarted in the farming industry, but now getting to the point where the next chapter needs to be written. And I'm wondering how AI might fit into that. I love that. Thanks for making me feel heard here, Laura. I feel like I bared my soul, but I wanted to share that. So thank you, Laura, and thanks for your question, Wayne. So what if you could put who you are into a computer and get the computer to build what's next around you? Well, I have done this many, many times in many, many ways, shapes, and forms. But last night I built an agent that isn't a personality test, but it takes everything from your personality test and it wires it together to tell you how you should be using AI because of it. It's a build order. And what the offer is here is that everybody should start with their first three agents. And one thing that you'll experience building agents is it's hard to stop. We still want to get into nature. We still want to spend time with our loved ones. We still want to go hunting, fishing, playing sports and all that good stuff. And maybe you should be doing more so once you get to a place of competency with AI because it does so much. But it is kind of addicting once you can build things. And if you're a builder, and I know there's a lot on the call today, there's a lot of builders in the room. You know what I'm talking about. You know the workflow. It's in your head. You want to get people to do it, or you want to have people help you do it, but human resources are scarce. I talked to a builder that had taken a piece of technology that a year and a half ago would have been $500,000 to $750,000 build from someone he knew and liked and trusted. And it would have taken a year to build it. And today, he did it in a week. Here, he did it in a week. So that's what I'm talking about, and I'll show you. Patty says, Dan, your story is clearly personal and emotional. Keep going. Thank you for the encouragement, Patty. Turner McKay says, where do you draw the line on uploading personal information into a cloud-based LLM? Balancing maximum context versus privacy concerns. I think that's a really good one because I was going to ask everybody what's holding them back. And let's do that now. Let's do that now. So what is holding you back from working with AI? What's in the way? And on that privacy note, here's how I view it. OpenAI has burned through more cash in the history of mankind than any other company in the history of mankind. They need to get to profitability. Anthropic, which makes Claude, you might know, just went from a couple months ago having potentially a $300 billion IPO to over $1 trillion. Follow the money, folks. There's so much money involved in AI. And if one news story came on the CBC about people's personal information getting out of ChatGPT or Anthropic, it would be game over for these corporations. So don't get me wrong. They're mining you. You are the product. You are the data. They're getting your information in exchange for the value they're giving you. And maybe in a capitalist sense, that's not unfair. But they have such a massive incentive to keep your stuff private. Just imagine that. So now there is some nuances. They are mining you and training their models on you if you don't have a paid account. And I guess there's probably a little bit of a delineation here. If you're one of those people who doesn't want to pay 400, well, I said 400, that's a Freudian slip, $40. Started $40. But I mean, I'm paying 300 for Claude and I feel really good about it. And there's times when I put more money into the slot because what it was building was a tenth of what it would cost otherwise. So you're a business person. You put fertilizer in the ground. You put fuel in your car to get to work. Inputs, outputs, processes. It's just math. So a lot of people don't know where to start with AI. A lot of people started and couldn't make it stick. And a lot of people don't think it applies to what you do. I guess we could ask ourselves, are you using the internet? That's how ubiquitous AI is going to be here. So privacy is definitely a concern. But I can also say that you have to get over that if you want to get to the other side of the matrix. And keeping your information private, there's so much invested into that by the big companies. I don't believe they're going to slip on that. I think there's other dangers that we haven't seen, waves that we haven't seen coming, that we got to get positioned for, like quantum computing that can break any code, that can break Bitcoin. That's probably something more to worry about. But what's in the way? A lot of people don't know where to start. And that's why when I created this opportunity for everybody to join me over time in these groups, we'll start with who you are. I think that's way more functional. So this I want to show you. So lots of people don't have time to figure it out. Well, I think we need to force a structure to get the ball rolling. That's my opinion. Tim says you're doing a great job, Dan. Thanks for the encouragement here. So this is my report that came out last night. And hey, I think for the purposes of building your first 3 agents, having maybe 3 tests is fine. But I'm a junkie for the Kolbe, favorite test of all time. Enneagram, ancient Christian personality test. If you haven't taken it, it's fantastic. Tells you who you are in good times and bad times. CliftonStrengths. What are your strengths? And working genius, hexaco predictive index, workplace insights. I could turn that into a country song, but we don't have time today. This document looks where all of these different tests intersect to give you a truth. This is a truth. This is a high level of truth. Where it's high, you've got 3 or more instruments agreeing. And then medium is 2 instruments. And then 1 is low instrument. This is my first pass on this agent, and I want to put some crazy stuff into the brain, let me tell you, because I think it's a beautiful thing. And wow, getting a report like this, it's like, So who am I? Well, let's face it, folks, I start super fast and I don't finish. And I could be offended, but this is probably useful market intel. You cannot read the label if you're inside the bottle. Everything around that in this report is built around that. So my action signature is that I specify and then I improvise. And my high fact finder gathers the facts and sets priorities. And the quick start 9. You think I had all of the pieces before doing this presentation? You think I had all of the pieces before starting my new company? Do you think I had all the pieces before I designed this course? Absolutely not. But I love the wind blowing in my hair as I'm jumping off the cliff and building the plane on the way down. Not everybody does. So you might have to build something else around you. And that's okay. That's fine. It's just knowing who we are. So I love novelty. I love making judgments. I like making the call. I like being in the front of the room. All of my energy is in strategic thinking. I cannot put together an IKEA shelf. I usually end up with a bunch of destroyed particle board and just a feeling of doom in my life. Like I don't know that I could survive very well in the wild. But when it comes to strategic thinking and thinking of the future and ideation and moving fast, I'm your man. But one of the big things I think we need to really acknowledge and think about and be concerned about is who are you under pressure? Who are you under pressure? And you should figure out the tension in your life. For me, I'm doing a brake stand. I'm doing a big old smoke show on your muscle car of choice. Because I got the gas on heavy and I'm doing the brakes because I want to go, but I want to get all the facts. At the end of the day, I need to make peace with that. So the strengths that I want to lean into is fast, accurate judgment. I can move people to act. Hopefully, I'm going to move people to act on this call today. I'm big on idea and pattern generation. Many of you have seen it in action. Some call it a trail of destruction if I don't build a proper infrastructure around it. And that's the MO for so many good salespeople. And I'm telling you, tangent, working at the John Deere dealership, I always thought, why don't we just have the salespeople doing what they're good at? They can't write an invoice to save their life. And they cannot do a call report. And now the beautiful thing is you don't have to do any of that. You can have agents that do all of that automatically. So what it said for me was, I'm not going to maintain it. I'm going to reject what's generic. I have to be able to trust my speed. When you talk about accuracy, Wayne, you talked about accuracy and urgency. I feel like when I started something like this, I had to do this. I was going to lose my mind. It says I had to get it out. So the first 3 agents it's telling me I need is a completion system. And that holds every loop, everything I'm doing, and it tries to finish it. And a lot of our work is getting finished in front of a computer. Don't kid yourself. When you see what these new agents connect to, they're kind of doing everything that employees can do, largely. And just like employees, they need some supervising and assistance and training. but employees should be operating their own agents in that way, I would argue. And then voice lock drafting. Well, I need things that sound like me, and I'm really there with the machine. It just works around me now. But that's being said, I have 50 agents, and they're all working off the same brain, and they're all baking things in when I scold them. Never do that again. It will start to say, "You told me, Dan. You told me never do that again. I'm sorry, Dan." Um, and if you need to relate to your AI, you can always create an avatar for it and a name and all that good stuff. But that's between you and the AI. I won't get into your personal relationships with AI. And the decision brief, well, I've built a board of advisors. My good friend Trevor Muir, who's so adverse to technology, he was just on the last AI farm. I think he gets a rash when you try and make him type at a keyboard. But high-powered CEO, millions of bucks in this and that, and sold his company and managed hundreds of people. Talk to ChatGPT until I built a board of advisors that is really, really wonderful, that he's looking at helping corporate people with. So that's a quick look at what to offload first. It's telling me get rid of anything that runs on maintenance. Work on enablement for my team. Turn decisions into execution and get rid of routine, repetitive communication. So what I'm working with folks in the group is going to be getting to your first agent running to beat the band in the first 90 days or the first 30 days. And one thing that should be ubiquitous when you go to work with any AI, and sometimes we'll switch models for different reasons, you should have a master prompt. You should have a master prompt that knows you, knows your business, and you can just copy and paste. So that's what I'm calling the personal operating diagnostic looks like. Let's get back to the wave. Did you know that if you're standing on the shore in the 2011 Japanese tsunami, that the wave would have been 133 feet high and 40.5 meters? But guess how high it was out in deep water? And I was trying to extrapolate, well, how far would I have to be out from the wave? What distance would I have to be out from the wave to be safe from the wave that's coming? And guess what? It wasn't about the distance from the shore. It was how deep. So it's not how far we have to go. It's how deep we need to go with AI. And I want you to know that even though there's a lot of resistance, maybe you're having trouble getting started. No, guess what? This always happens. This history repeats itself, folks. There was a lot of resistance to steel tractors. Why? Because you can't grow their feed. You can only grow gasoline. In 1920 in the US, there was 24.6 million horses and mules and only 250,000 tractors. And by 1954, there was, I think, 5 million tractors and less horses. And all the reasons that we should have stuck with horses are gone. And now we have 850 horses and a nice John Deere with air conditioning cabin and a beer cooler. God bless progress. So, I mean, yeah, horses are great, but a little bit of a hay burners there. But what else? Well, zero till. And this will be near and dear to hearts of farmers on the call. Saskatchewan, only 10% was no-till in 1991. And in 2011, there's 70% of the folks were. Guess what? The first folks that were zero-tilling got called, they were called trash farmers because it was just so ugly. And I was there in the early days when it used to be a badge of honor to cultivate straight and make your field black, but it's done wonders. I don't think anybody needs to go into all the things that zero till has done for the environment and for economics and for the farming. And it's the same thing with the internet. In 1990, there was only 2.6 million users. In 2010, there was 2 billion. I don't know how many there are today, but I'm sure everybody, and your food comes by it. All your information comes by it. 3 zillion jobs have been created about it. New businesses we never even knew. We didn't know really what an influencer was, or that we could get Skip the Dishes or Amazon or bloggers could make a career, that Spotify would be a thing. So here we are. So where are you in the AI wave? Well, we're just at the beginning, and you haven't missed anything. And even though 41% of workers are already using it as of this research that was done. 19% of businesses have really adopted it. I think, you tell me, I think there's a 95% failure rate because much of the time people underestimate the amount of work there is in the workflow for a very simple thing like just sending an email. And that's what I can help you build that will overcome that. So you don't have to send your emails. You can talk to the person. Well, it's not a person, the device managing your emails with context about who you are and who your clients are and what your business is and what you want to achieve. But wait a minute. Wait a minute here, folks. Tell me what you think about this. And this is what came back. Only 1.8%, less than 2% of folks in Western Canadian agribusiness, this was agribusiness, is using AI. And I think agriculture is one of the most amazing moats when it comes to the effects of AI. Some of the top AI people I know are moving to the country because they think the urban centers are going to be hollowed out. And maybe the cry will be, we got to keep young people in our cities because they're going back to the country. Because anybody doing work with a computer, a lot of that mundane, repetitive work, just like people used to count money by hand in the bank, that's gone. But it doesn't mean you can't create great things like I'm going to show you here today. If you're a creator, if you're an employee that wants to create value. But do you feel this? We are so early. And there's a reason that no new jobs net are being created in the US, but productivity is going through the roof. It's because technology is multiplying that. But is that measuring all the people that are taking advantage of the who, not how being not a person anymore, per se? And I'm not anti-people. I love people. And I enjoy what people bring, but there's a place for this technology and getting your people to use this. So I could show you. Yeah, Wayne, Dean Andres says, sorry, Dan, I need to leave for a Teams call. Can I watch? I'll send you the recording. I'll send you the deep research on those waves too. I want you guys to have that. I didn't get a chance to read it all. Well, you see, I start things, I don't finish them, but I read the important intro. Appreciate you, Dean, coming. We'll get you that. Wayne Black says, is it possible the definition of AI is different for one person versus another? Have seen some of us been using AI. We call it an algorithm. Are we just more reluctant in ag? I think the experience for people using AI is vastly different. And that's why I wanted to do this. Because I'm just sitting here bobbing up and down in the ocean, hardly feeling the wave, and I'm watching people on the shore getting battered around. No offense, with all due love and respect. Like, what is going on over there? What is going on over there? Like, how can you not be? And honestly, the crazy part is too, I think a lot of young people have been taught that AI is bad in the schools. But guess what? My understanding is the statistics just flipped. I'm scared to see these kids go get an expensive 7-year education when they're coming out, and that's not an economic advantage. And it's actually a great career move to come out and be a mechanic. I was talking to my budget coach I'm starting up with again here, and she was saying her son graduated and wanted to become a mechanic. I mean, awesome. But I think the experience for everybody with AI is so vastly different, and I want you to know my experience so that you can make a decision about whether you want to come over here or not, where it's fun to just bob up and down in the warm ocean is my experience. A specialist for every job, none of them human. I have account managers now. That's fairly recent. Actually, a lot of the agents I've been really building has been in the last 3-4 weeks. Really, in Arizona, I unlocked like a whole different level where I'm like, okay, this is, officially where the game has changed, where we need to get these things doing the work for us. And that's my job, is managing all these agents. Account manager really gets to know your clients. And for the salespeople on the call, how about having an account manager that you can talk to about your clients so that you can serve them better, anticipate their needs, keep up with them, follow up with them? How many salespeople in the room, put your hands up, aren't good at follow up, but they can initiate like a damn? You're all get up and go. Chris Sobchak raised his hand. I mean, I'm a great salesperson. I was one of the best at John Deere. But in my follow through, I mean, I needed somebody to pick up the pieces. So event production, you guys see it all. I thought I was going to do one meeting a month in the new business. I'm doing two a week. Why? Because I can and because you guys are showing up. And last week we had over 10,000 views on YouTube. We had 7,000 on Too Big to Farm, and then we did a cab interview with the client. And so it just, I can. How do you integrate AI agents into other programs? I will show you. Okay. So we got sales coaching, and I can spin up a board of experts from Gary V to Grant Cardone to name your poison. Who's your guys? Alex Hermosi, um, the how to shake hands and kiss babies guy. Brett Jensen says, "Looking good, Dano. Will you get into the pros and cons of the various competitors, i.e., ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity?" Sure, sure I will. Yeah, let's go there here right away. Sean Patnode, I support AI and believe agriculture stands to benefit enormously from it. That said, we should also be thoughtful about the infrastructure supporting AI. Large data centers require significant amounts of land, electricity, in some cases, water. Poorly planned development could create unnecessary competition with agriculture for critical resources. Absolutely. I want to have a show on that because I do think it's a really big topic and it's a huge concern. Some of our neighbors down in Maricopa, the young couple, the guy works as an electrician, and he is building these data sensors in the middle of the desert where it's very hot. But let me show you a little bit here what I'm talking about. First of all, I just want to show you. I I look back at this as a little bit Flintstones now, but I mean, if you haven't built one of these, it's pretty wild. But let's ask Robert Andjelic. Did you guys come up with any cool questions for Robert Andjelic? I'm going to ask him. Robert, can you tell me, based on everything you know and project it out to, 26, 27, 28, or the next 50 years, or whatever you want to look at, where is the best place to buy farmland in Western Canada right now? Where would you be putting your hard-earned dollars? Where would you be betting? So let's let Robert do some mulling there. And I can hear his voice in my head. I've talked to him enough. These GPTs, when we talk about context, so Wayne, you could take Greg Patterson in the mastermind. I could take all of his transcripts, give this GPT specific instructions. It would answer everything, not only with the power of AI, but with the understanding and the context of who Greg Patterson is and how he thinks. And I'll show you with Robert Andjelic. Walk me through the pros and cons of starting a course for AI with my Western Canadian agricultural-based community. If you've ever seen the 5 million viewed Tim Ferriss fear setting exercise, this one's actually really annoying because it makes you examine so many things from a stoic perspective. It's really frustrating almost. But if you're afraid of doing anything, talk to this GPT I built. And here's Melissa. I'm just going to look at my Fitness Pal. Melissa is my nutrition coach. I built one of her. She was a little bit creeped out by it, but hey, Melissa, I'm trying to hit 2,175 calories a day. I'm a 226-pound male, 50 years old, and I want to hit a protein target of 170 grams per day. What do you suggest I eat in a day? Personal and professional. Optimization, folks. That is the world we live in. That's really fun. So I had a eureka moment I wanted to show you guys, and this is really where I just talking to ChatGPT like a Google thing jumped a shark for me. Like just a search engine. So I spent in the new year, I spent $5,000 US, God bless him, on a good, incredible, great technical guy to build me a bunch of stuff. We built Bone Trail website and the Shopify store, and it was gorgeous and everything. And then we started working on this website. I paid $5,000, and he gave me a wireframe for this website. But then I saw, well, you can build a website for the business that I want to start from Dan Martell on a TikTok 1-minute reel. I was like, huh. And so we were 2 months into this, and this project was getting hung up because of who I am. In 35 minutes, on the phone with my brother, I had typed in, build me a website. I pointed Claude code at my entire folder. I put in the previous wireframe. I put in my brand standards. I was like, go. 35 minutes later, I had the first version of this. What's exciting about this is if you're a farmer, somebody had contacted me in the questions earlier. Dean was saying, hey, I think they're a bison farm and they wanted to market themselves. Now, people with making websites are going to be able to still make websites for people and probably have better margins for a while because they can do this so quick. But now anybody who knows what I can show you, and it's not a corporate secret, you can go on YouTube and figure it out, can make a website about this. What's fun about this is I can update this myself and say, hey, we just finished the golden gavel, put it in replays. Next up this, next up that. Hey, I want to have a landing page for my new course on how to do AI, that kind of stuff. And it's empowered me so much. And I got so excited about it, I went and made a website right away for Convergence Conference, and I haven't made it live yet. But this is the same thing. It made me the website for the Convergence Conference, that every time I have an idea, I can update it and add whatever I want and make up this and make up that. So if you're a builder, you're a farmer, you're anybody on planet Earth, like, and you're not building things with this code, it's really crazy. And I can give you a little bit of a glimpse under the hood. I don't want to hit that overwhelm point either with technology, because that's not all what today's about. And we got 19 minutes left before but so the evolution really is, you can use chat. Chat's great to talk to. Co-work was even better to talk to about doing the work. And there's things that you can't get in code that I do like with co-work. But this is just so beautiful. Like for the salespeople, like you can, well, I shouldn't show too much of that, but you can, like, it runs your HubSpot. It connects with your HubSpot. So you never have to go to HubSpot again. How would you like to never go to HubSpot again? I'm free from HubSpot. I'm declared safe from HubSpot, ever having to go there again on Facebook. Hallelujah. I never want to go to HubSpot ever again. This is my fleet. I don't think it's all in here. And some of it's unknown. I mean, how do I get an unknown agent? Hopefully that isn't dangerous, but I have these layers and they talk to each other. I say, go talk to the Zoom agent. They made the event. Talk to the event producer. That's their problem. I'm telling you, if you understand workflows, you can be a wizard in today's world. Turner is saying AI has democratized so much knowledge and digital skills. The question is no longer what you can build, it's what you will build. Amen. That distinction is important. Keith Vanderheide is saying, would it be possible to connect soil sensors or weather stations to an AI agent for real-time field-specific agronomic advice? Absolutely. Come in the course and I will help you. And I don't know anything about sensors or weather stations or even AI agents. I just know that I can talk to this thing and it makes it. Because here's my stack, folks. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, I guess you can hit pause and just, admire my stack. But I have an agent for many, 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 many things now that keeps my life on track. And yes, some of you are on the call, but I do this out of love for you because I want to be better for you. And I need help with who I am and who I'm not. I don't want you to be disappointed in me. But these all work together and there's a workflow. And furthermore, there's a brain. Okay. And this brain is essentially a neural network that consists not of tissue like in our nervous systems, but of Markdown files, which are basic text files that AI can read very, very quickly. And I can build anything. This is my website agent. And when I'm done this episode, I'll say, okay, I'm done. Put it in the replay. Next up this, next up that. It will up. I didn't type anything into the website. I confess that I didn't write the email this morning, folks. The email that went out this morning, I didn't write it, but I supervised it and I massaged it and made sure the nuances were correct. And it produces a lot of that context automatically. So if I go into, anyways, I can get into the weeds here really far and I get really excited about all this, but it's building it's building this for me automatically. That's why I can have 2 events a week. You can build this too. I don't think it's actually almost embarrassingly simple once you get on it. Okay. So here's what Robert Andjelic said. I'm going to answer this structurally, not as a hot tip. I'm going to look at climate, water, markets, credit, productivity. Merging answer points first to Saskatchewan, but selectively moisture reliability and strong tenant demand matter. So, and I picked up on the Robert Andjelic Damien Mason transcript. Little secret hack, by the way. I've made an agent to go on the internet and scrape anybody that I deem valuable, everything they know that they've published. And it will put it into a folder, and then I'll force my agents to read them one at a time and say, what did this teach you? What are you going to do better or differently? How are you going to behave better and not annoy me? I'm just kidding. Be kind to your AI will be a thing soon if you've ever seen The Matrix and know the backstory. So, hey, Robert's looking hardest around my country. Yorkton, Kenora, Kamsack, Foam Lake, Wadena, Melfort, Tisdale, Nipawin, Hudson Bay, Humboldt. We all know that song. Stompin' Tom, I think it was. And yeah, he gives all the reasons and sounds pretty reasonable. So I can show you how to build this if you want to buy land in Saskatchewan. If you're coming to the transition train with some cash on Friday. This one is tough because Tim Ferriss, if you watch his 5 million viewed treatise on how you should treat fear setting process, there's a whole bunch of steps here. So it walks you through. And by the time you're done, it's like, it's no risk. No animals were harmed in the making of this made for TV AI course. And then here's my nutritionist saying, yeah, here's how I'd build your day around lean protein first. And I'm here now. I'm here. I'm living it. It's beautiful. I feel really good. I can take a photo of a menu, and she will counsel me on what to eat. So I'm telling you, folks, it's pretty excited over here where the water is deep on the AI side of things. I want you to come with me. I don't know how to get everybody there without doing what I do best, which is try and scale it now. I've sold for the salespeople. I drove down a lot of kitchen lanes for a lot of years or a lot of farm lanes and sat at kitchen tables, and I miss that. And that's why I do the podcast too, is to bring those conversations to everybody. But I want to scale this with folks. I'm doing a 90-day sprint to help you find your operating system. We'll put you into the system. I already have a first follower and lots of other interest, and I expect there'll be lots of demand, but I want to make sure, especially in this first cohort, that we got the right folks in there. And a big part of it, if you've ever been to anything like Strategic Coach or Farmer Coach or any of those programs, a big part of what you take out of it is the people you're working with. But I will help you build what you want to build in this sprint. It's 90 days. Find your operating system, build the agents around it, and then ostensibly you should be training your people to run it, or at least make them aware that you have a bunch of ninja agents on your side. So it's going to be 12 sessions-ish. Know yourself first. And then we figure out what activities in the activity inventory you want to keep or change or offload, and set some goals around what you want to come out of the program with, your workflow inventory, your master prompt, your blueprint, specialization. And in the first 30 days, if in the first 30 days you haven't built an agent that you feel is well and exceeded the value of the program, I'll give you your money back, no problem. We made a good college try. God bless you. No problem. But I want you to walk out with your own personalized operating profile report. I think this is worth the price of entrance on itself. If you don't know thyself yet, I want you to. I get you these personality tests as part of the course. I provide you links, fill this out, and then we go from there. And then we give you that report. And I want to create you a working brain in Claude right now is the answer, in my humble opinion. ChatGPT is just a little too creepy. I think it's been modeled off Sam Altman's brain. I'm not a fan, but it does some things really well too. A lot of the imagery you saw here was in ChatGPT, and using everything all the time, you come to understand what works and what doesn't. I want to give you 2 or 3 specialized agents running in your business. I want to give you a documented operator voice so every agent sounds like you. I want to help train a team member to run the system without you and build a bit of a roadmap to execute as a member. And I want to give you a growing the future operator certificate, yours for life. I think I might get something made by Bone Trail for the people that graduate, so to speak. And then it'll be 12 live sessions, 90 minutes each. And then I want to work with people one-on-one with what problem, like Keith, if you came in the program, we'd be talking specifically about building what you have there, and other people would learn from it. So I want to also have some one-on-one coaching checkpoints, and it's going to be small. It could be really, really small up front. I'm good with that too, because once I'm super confident, I'm going to scale it to everybody. But right now, I just want to make sure everybody's the right fit for what we're doing and feel our way through it a little bit. But yeah, 1997 US dollars. And I'm sorry it's in US dollars, but that's the school platform. And American dollars still work really well. So it's just a matter of conversion on your credit card. I apologize, but I want to make sure everybody understands, because I was going to do a $3,000 Canadian. Then I just thought, well, let's just do it US. That's actually cheaper than that. And then if you want to stay in the school and learn, I'm going to be doing monthly stuff. It's $29 a month US. So either those agents earn their keep, or you will get your money back. That's my promise. And I built this for operators. If you have a farm or a business and you want it to do the work of a much bigger team, the professional, I think this could be incredible for agronomists, advisors, brokers, accountants to have an edge, an edge nobody else has. The team leader, if you have people and you want to understand yourself better and you want to leverage your relationships with them. If you're a company you won, God bless you. I'm here with you. High fives. I can multiply everything you're good at and take a lot off, what sucks off your plate. And I did it, and it was very fun. So this is for you. If you're going to run something real and you want a system built around you, you're going to do the work and not just watch. I can't do all the work for you. And you already understand who, not how. Like if you believe in delegation, if you're a person that needs to do everything by pencil, by hand, I don't know. It might not be a fit, but I can't really I don't want to give everybody just AI hacks and templates. And I mean, if you really function that way, you would have done it by now. Let's be real. It's all out there on the internet. If you want somebody to do it for you, if you're not going to come, I want people that are going to engage and contribute and create big value into the room. That's really important to me, because I know I've been to the mountain with that stuff. The sharing that goes on in those rooms is visceral. I think that's really important, and that's what's going to help it. So it's a growing your future operating system, 90 days, small room. I got to put a prompt in here, or put a document in here for you folks. I got 17,000 windows open here. I'm going to put a document here, and I'll send it to you afterwards as well. Of course, this is the one part I'm not as organized on it as I should be. That's why I need help with follow up. But I have a document that has all the crazy stuff we talked about today. Links to the research and links to some of the facts and figures. And then, yeah, it has a little bit of a intake form for you to fill out if you're interested. And then I'll just put out the poll here. Are you interested in this course? And let me know what you're thinking. But I really appreciate everybody's time today. It's been a lot of fun. It was great having butterflies for first time for a while. And I truly believe in what we could build together. I'd be really excited to see it. And what else? Is there any other questions anybody had about anything that they would want to build? Chris Sopchuk says, thanks for sharing, Dan. I thank you for coming, and we need to do lunch soon. I hope I didn't miss anything there. I feel like I really spilled my guts and a bunch of information, and I hope that whether you're interested in the course or not, you found this fascinating. I will be sharing more information about AI publicly with everybody, but I have no doubt that working with people one-on-one in this context is going to be so fun. It's going to be, Robert Wolf said, this is what I've been looking for the past 2 months. And now we're here, man. Let's do it. I'm really excited to see what people can build. Like the use cases that I think will come out of this is going to be wild. And it's 1.8% in agriculture. What are we doing? Why are we missing this one, folks? Let's go. Let's go. We can do this. Agriculture should be a leader of technology. So anyways, thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate you. I'm going to send follow up to everybody that came. Thanks to all the people that supported it. Catherine says, thanks for all your info. Wayne Black says, appreciate the conversation. There's so much opportunity in this field. I hope you guys are pumped. Hope you guys are freaking pumped. Let's get in the sweet spot of the wave, man. Let's get away from the tsunami. Patty says, Patty, you know me so well. You're not going to send follow up. Your agent will. Yeah, you got me. Guilty as charged. Thank you, folks. Love you all. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday, and we will talk to you soon. Dwayne Edwards said, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. So hope to see you in the course. Now, if I can actually find where to exit this webinar in all my 17 windows, I will exit stage left. Thanks for everybody for attending. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.